Enjoy the sunshine while we have it. Pick up outside because there's a lot of stuff still flying around out there. And know that it will get a little milder in the days to come, okay? All right, AM Buffalo is always aware of bringing important health issues to light. Did you know that colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths in this country among men and women? But it's also the most detectable and treatable cancer with early detection. This morning, Erie County Health Commissioner Dr. Gail Burstein is back, and she has brought with her Marcia Crosby, who unfortunately lost her husband to colon cancer a few years ago. And we're going to welcome your calls out there and comments now at 644-9840 as we talk about this. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming in, Marcia, to talk about this.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And Dr. Burstein, let's talk about this disease because it starts with no symptoms.
Right. I mean, that's the concerning aspect, is that people could be having early colon cancer that can develop into invasive cancer and then cause metastasis. But initially, it starts out with no symptoms. And the only way you're going to know that you have these lesions, that if you remove them at an early stage, it's 100% cure rate, is if you get a test. And there are a couple different tests available. So the most traditional test that is the most specific, and you can, if you see something, then you can do something about it at that time, is the colonoscopy. But a lot of people have concerns about colonoscopy. They're afraid. They don't like the bowel prep beforehand. Yeah. I mean, the procedure is actually benign. Most people don't even remember it because you get good anesthesia. But the prep is a bit of a hassle. But that's recommended, depending on what your family risk, anywhere between every few years to every 10 years. But there's also what we call a FIT test available. And so that is something that you can do in your own home. It's just, you get a special from the lab specimen collection kit, and you just, send a stool specimen, even just through the mail in that kit, and then they do some testing to see if there's any evidence of bleeding in your colon or rectum. And then if there is, then you'd have to go on for further testing. But if there isn't, then you can feel comfortable. But this is something that's recommended every year if you go that way.
I understand that those are going to be available through TOPS?
Right. Yep. So we have a great program. TOPS has been a wonderful partner with our colon cancer screening intervention. And so we have a schedule that will be working with different TOPS in different days throughout the month, where we'll be handing out information and then these FIT testing kits so people can get tested, again, in the privacy of their own home, and just by going to the supermarket, they can pick up the test.
Yeah, and bring your health insurance, but even if you don't have insurance, you can still get them.
Right. So that's another aspect of colon cancer screening and breast cancer screening, is that insurance in Erie County is not a barrier. Cost is not a barrier. So if there are people who are underinsured or uninsured, but they're eligible for these cancer screening tests, the county will pay for it. Even if there's a co-payment that that can be a hardship, we will pay for the co-payment. And then if people that need treatment as a result of the testing or further diagnostic workup, we can help get them into a special health plan that will pay for that. So cost should not be a barrier.
All right. Marcia, let's talk about what happened with your husband. Did he have any symptoms, or did he have a family history of colon cancer?
Yes, he had both that I didn't realize until after he was diagnosed. Excuse me. He was symptomatic, but he chose to ignore the symptoms. So when finally his hematocrit was half of what it should have been, we knew he was bleeding somewhere, and they did further testing. They did a colonoscopy, and he was diagnosed with colon cancer at that time. And it was familial also, so he had everything going against him. After initially he had surgery, the colon cancer metastasized to his liver. So he lasted about 8 months after he was diagnosed, and it was not a good 8 months. It was horrific.
Oh, and this is why we're trying to talk to people about, you want to pay attention if that you do see symptoms.
Absolutely.
When you said that he was symptomatic, what kind of symptoms?
He was bleeding. He was bleeding, and he never told me. He didn't like going to the doctor. And that's what happened. And it was so avoidable. We could, if he had had a colonoscopy when he was 50, like he was supposed to, we would have totally avoided it, because polyps are very slow growing.
Right, but someone like your husband who had a family history, your physician may have even recommended early
Right. Well, I don't think he told his
Right.
physician. He did not like going to the doctor, and that was the whole problem. you know?
Right. So yeah, that's why it's important that people just talk to their healthcare provider, about what their risk is, because 50 is not the age for everybody.
No.
And actually, it's there was a study published recently that's showing even people in their 30s and 40s are developing colon cancer and rectal
I think,
cancer.
unfortunately, we just read in the paper there was a girl who was in her 20s
Right.
who has been
And
diagnosed.
it's becoming more common now, it seems.
Do we
yeah.
know what causes it?
Well, it's really multifactorial. So, hereditary is, your family risk is very important. There are certain, race ethnicities are more at risk, and then your family history. Diet is a big factor, and then also just fitness. Having, being obese is also a risk factor. So we want to make sure you eat well and get some exercise.
In fact, I read that right here on the website that we have, cspwny.org, not only can you get the list of which tops is going to have the fit test for you and where, but there's also great ideas on how you can lower your risk. And it's about eating right and getting some exercise and things like that.
Right, and
so
quit
go there.
smoking. If
Oh,
you
that's
smoke,
huge, right.
Yeah, just you have to quit.
We do have a phone call, so we're going to go to our phones. Good morning. Hi, caller.
morning.
Who is this?
Marie?
Hi, Marie. You're on the air with us.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, ladies. And I have a question for the doctor. There's a kit out there that the doctor has to sign. You have to get his approval. It's called Colorectal. And I was wondering if that is a better kit than the one that they're offering at TOP.
There are, I'm not sure which one they're offering at TOPS. Just in terms of the technology, the fit testing, as long as you make sure that the test that you get is a fit test, then that should be, what you need to get screening on an annual basis. So you can talk to your healthcare provider about what type of test it is, and if it's a fit test, you can go with it. Again, just, medicine is also a business. So there are different companies make these, the same tests, and they label it with different brand names. So there are, several out there on the market. So you can just talk to your healthcare provider and actually see what she or he recommends.
Thank you, caller. Good luck with that.
It's a great question.
It is a great question. And I think in honor of colon cancer awareness, we're being asked to wear blue on Friday,
Yes.
which I think is important. And doctor, let me ask you, once you get screened, and a lot of times when you're actually getting the colonoscopy, if they see any polyps, which could be a precursor, right, to colon cancer, they'll take those out.
Right,
during the test.
they'll remove them right there. And for some people, that's a complete cure.
That's it.
It is.
Right,
That's how they do.
right. I
Yeah.
mean, they will want, just because you had polyps and possibly a malignant precursor, they'll want you to have a repeat colonoscopy much sooner than 10 years.
Right.
But but that is considered a cure at that time.
Marcia, any other men in your husband's family eventually, certainly it was a
Right.
wake-up call for them, but how are they doing?
Well, my husband's first cousin is always having polyps taken out. And my husband also had 2 sons, and they have to get tested at 30. Yes, very
Okay.
early. So, yeah.
But it's a heads up, they know to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Big heads
And
up.
doctor,
yeah.
as you were saying, if you're getting your colonoscopy and they do see any kind of suspicious polyps, will they take out all polyps or suspicious polyps, or is there a difference?
Right. I mean, there are some polyps that are more suspicious than others. I mean, and then there are some people that have conditions that they have multiple polyps throughout their colon. So, if they just see a few, I think that they would, likely try to remove them all. If there's, a large number because of other hereditary disease, they usually just, sample them. But again, you don't really know what the pathology is, what type of cells are in there, unless you send it out for, for a pathology, for a pathologist to look at them under the microscope.
Right.
So that's why it's really prudent to remove them, and then there'll be no question they won't be there anymore, whatever they were.
We're hearing from more and more people who are saying, you know what, this test is more of a breeze than you think. Just, don't be afraid of it. Don't think about what they did 10 years ago. The medicines are great. The prep is easier than you think. And then the test itself, is a walk in the park because they're going to put you to sleep.
Conscious
Right.
sedation.
You get to
It's
lay
the best
down, and
thing.
next thing you know, you're woken up.
The preps are much easier to take now than they had been in the past. And also, I mean, most people lose 4 pounds.
Something to think about.
It's how much
There's an incentive.
it's how much poo we have left in us at any time.
It's amazing. So it's kind of your way of having, like a total, a clean out, so to speak.
Right, right,
A
right.
little cleanse.
Right.
It's a little cleanse. Marsha, again, we're sorry for your loss. It was many years ago, but
Thank
still. But the important thing here, everybody, is that this month, this is colon cancer awareness month. It's easy to go to the website, find out when the tops in your area is going to be getting the fit kits, and do call your general practitioner. If you can't even remember the last time you had a colonoscopy, if you've never had one, it could save your life. And it's as easy as that. Thank you for our call this morning, too. Thanks, Dr. Burstein, for your time. We'll take a quick break. We've got lots more. But do go to cspwny.org for more information.